So you're ready to make a group in your course, and what you want to do is from your home page, you want to choose course tools, and then you want to choose groups, and then you want to choose new category. So for example, these are going to be all the projects that you plan to have in your course. And so we're just going to call them ENTR 480 projects. And then we are going to just put a description in here. These will be all the assignments. It will be completed as a group in ENTR 480. Okay, so in this situation, we are just going to choose number of groups, no auto enrollments. So what this means is we don't want the students enrolling themselves. We want to do this for them. And then in this situation, we're going to have 10 groups, and we don't need to worry about a group prefix. And then what we're going to do now is go ahead and set up the assignments. And we want this to be a file submission. You can see that there's multiple choices, but in this one, we're going to make it so that there's a file submission for this project. So we're going to hit save. Now we are ready to create the assignment. So if you already have an existing assignment, it would be best to title this whatever the existing assignment is. So we're going to start down here first, which seems backwards, but will make sense in a moment. So we're going to add the attachment, and we're going to do this from an existing activity. This existing activity we are going to find from, we're going to say that they're in our assignments, okay? So this one is Project 1, Interview Entrepreneur, and that one's individual. So we're going to say, okay, we want this to be Project 2, 100 Idea Generation Team, okay? So we're just going to call this Project number 2, 100 Idea Generation Team. So this would be the interest in choosing it from there first. And then whatever the instructions might be for this project, you could even say, please see the attachment. The description and directions. You have the ability to record audio and video if that's something you would be interested in. In this situation, we are going to consider this a group assignment, and we want it to be under this group category, which is all the ENTR 480 projects. And we want this to be a file submission, and maybe we just want it to be one file, so you can make your individual choices there. And we only want it to keep the most recent, let's say, and then a category, we're going to call it team projects, because maybe you have projects titled for individual projects. And we're going to say that this is 150 points, and this is where this is huge. We do need to associate this with a project. You see, if I do the drop-down menu, I have something in here. This is in my dev shell, so I've already created this at one point here. So we're going to go ahead and just create one for the sake of showing you. Even though Project 2 existed there, that's because it was made at an earlier time for an earlier demo. So we are going to call this 100 Idea Project, or whatever title it is that you would want to come up with there. And then this is referring to your grade category instead of your assignment category. So we're just going to say none for right now. And then this grading, we've said 150 points. We are not going to attach any bonus points to it. We don't want to hide the grades from the users, and we don't want to hide the availability of the grade in the gradebook is what all that's referring to. We're going to hit save. So now you can see that we have the choice to create, which create would then stop this process and create this one group assignment. we're going to say we want to add another one. So now we're going to call this one the third project. So let's find that existing activity, go into assignments, find project 3, startup company research. So in this situation, you could be more descriptive with your instructions. For the sake of the demo, just put something in there to kind of remind you. Once again, we want this to be a group assignment. We want it to be under the ENTR 480 projects, and we want it to have a file submission, and maybe for this one, we want it to be unlimited. And so we're going to say unlimited. And then this is where we could choose the category again, that assignment category. We're going to call it team projects. We're going to say it's worth 150 points. And then in this situation, let's say that you had already created that spot in the grade book. That's where you could choose this. But in this situation, we're going to do a new grade item because this is where it becomes very important to be attached to your grade book. So maybe we're just going to say project number 3. Category refers to the grade category, so you can go in and change that and add projects into that grade category. We want this to be 150 points. We want it to be the same parameters as we've talked before. We don't want it to be hidden in the grade book or go away at any specific date. We're going to hit save. And now we're going to hit create. And what that's going to do is create those 2 assignments for those groups. So it's going to say 10 groups created, 1 assignment created. We're going to hit save. And it really is 2 assignments that we've created. It hadn't registered that second one yet. So this would be very helpful if you always are going to have the same group members in those same 10 groups throughout all of the semester. Then you can see that you have 2 assignments that you have given them. This would be if you set up discussions for them or lockers. Lockers are for a different demo, a different day that we will explain. And so what you can do now that you've set these up, you can go in and set up all your assignments. Then you can go into the actual group and you can enroll the users. So in this situation, I only have 1 demo student. So I'm going to say, I want to add myself, and I want to add myself to group 3. So whatever group you'd want to add them to, that would then say at the top that they are added to group 3. If that's the only group you want them added to, you hit save. So if you have the same people for all 10 groups throughout the whole semester, you do this 1 time. You add them to this group 1 time. And then you can go in individually and you can see, I'll refresh the page here. You can see that group 3, we're going to enroll the user. I don't know why it didn't enroll the user. We're going to hit save. And now it's accurate. So the first time that I did it, for whatever reason, it didn't save. And so now you can see that this has 1 member. So you definitely want to see that you have something that's clickable here, that you can see who's in here. So once you click on that, you would be able to see who all exists in that particular group. And then you're also able to click on the 2 assignments and see what 2 assignments did I assign these groups to have. And that's how you set up group projects and group categories. Good luck setting up your groups.